And the final main event segment was just another excellent promo. Randy Orton comes out. He stays on the stage again, giving some variety to these promo-heavy shows, essentially. And the content of this is great too. He said how Edge said last week that Randy lacks grit. The grit taught to them, handed over to them by Mick Foley. But then Randy says, well, depends what you mean by grit, because I see grit as longevity, as being the only constant in that locker room. I don't think grit is staying at home looking up at the ceiling for 9 years. Just a killer line.
Yeah, I thought this was great.
And what I really liked about this is how Randy set this all up as him having to clarify his earlier remarks. He apologized. He was like, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't make myself clear enough. And then putting the blame on us for misunderstanding his actions, and then still just explaining the same thing. No, I'm trying to kill you because I love you.
Yeah.
Do you not get that?
I'm doing it for all the right reasons.
Yeah,
I thought this was really cool. And again, it played off the promo that Edge did last week, where Edge said, Randy, you only got where you got to because of your last name, which is kind of like, it's a common trope that WWE have done over the years. They've, done it with Charlotte Flair and all this sort of stuff. He said, like, you were handed all of your opportunities. I had to work and claw to get my opportunities. And Randy was like, I was handed an opportunity because of my last name, but I wasn't handed those titles that I won in my first year. RKO wasn't handed to me. I made that. And then my favorite part of this sort of killer line is when he said, if Triple H had offered you the position in Evolution, would you have turned it down? Like, that's really, really good, because that is, you got to imagine, it's like Edge probably go like, would I have turned it down? I always remember this. So this is way off track, but it's kind of the same thing. They've always talked about how Kane Hodder is like the most famous guy for playing Jason Voorhees. He did it in 7, 8, 9, and 10, but he didn't play Jason in Freddy versus Jason. They got Ken Kersinger in because Ken Kersinger is way, way taller. And Ronnie, you wanted that sort of big and small dynamic. And people have always asked, saying like, it should have been Kane, it should have been Kane, it should have been Kane. And Kane has talked about it, it's like, I wish it could have been me. I wish it could have been me. And I was at a Q&A that he did a few years back where he said, I've said all my piece. I've said everything that is to say about that topic. And someone stood up and said, I don't know if you've been asked this before, but if the roles were reversed, would you have taken the job? If Ken Kersinger had played Jason and then you were offered it, and he was like, wow, I've never considered it from that angle before. Yeah, I would have done. Like, I would have taken that job because I'd have taken the work. And I thought about that with Edge here. It's like Edge is sitting there being like, oh, you bastard, you were handed all your opportunities. But if that role was reversed, Edge now as a character got sitting there and be like, actually, yeah, maybe I would have taken that spot. And I thought it was a really, really clever line. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I think that's the mark of really, really smartly told, complicated stories with the Randy Orton and Edge feud, and also the Owens-Seth feud that's just like popped out of nowhere really this week. And that's, it just makes you sort of look at other things in your life and go, oh yeah, it applies to that too. And oh, well, I've never thought about it that way before. Like, how often do you get that with a WWE feud, that it stimulates your mind so much where you start to actually think about it?